Welcome back to the Data Guy Show. I'm Naz, and I'm here with Mo, who's practically vibrating with excitement about his latest creation, some D365 MCP tools that he's been obsessing over. Today, we're talking about the comprehensive MCP tools in the Dynamics 365 Finance and Operations client that Mo personally developed. And apparently, there's quite the story about how these tools went from his frustration with enterprise integrations to a dramatic discovery in Microsoft's Contoso demo data.
Oh, this is my favorite story to tell. So, picture this. I'm testing my newly developed MCP tools with the Contoso demo database. Microsoft's sample D365 environment. And I'm thinking, let me see what these tools can really do. I start with a simple query about customers with high credit limits, and suddenly I uncover what would be a massive real-world crisis. A customer 132% over their credit limit, with $131,250 of exposure.
Wait, hold up. You're telling me that even in Microsoft's demo data, you found a scenario that perfectly illustrates real-world enterprise nightmares? That's either incredibly ironic or Microsoft really knows how to make their examples realistic.
That's exactly what makes this story so perfect. While this was Contoso's demo data, not a real company facing actual financial risk, the scenario is absolutely typical of what happens in real D365 environments every day. The tools, the analysis, the urgency of the discovery, it's all completely authentic to how these situations unfold in production systems. Microsoft's demo data just happens to include the kind of messy, realistic scenarios that enterprises actually face.
All right, so before we get into the dramatic credit crisis resolution, I need to understand your origin story here. You saw AI assistants struggling with enterprise data and thought, I can fix this? That sounds like either brilliance or complete naivety.
A little of both, honestly. I kept watching people try to use Claude Desktop or GitHub Copilot for D365 work, and it was like watching someone try to perform surgery with oven mitts. The AI could understand complex business logic, write sophisticated code, and solve intricate problems. But the moment you needed to actually touch D365 data, everything ground to a halt.
So, what was the breakthrough moment? Because going from this is frustrating to I'm going to build 34 different tools is quite a leap.
The breakthrough was realizing that MCP, Model Context Protocol, was designed exactly for this problem. Instead of building yet another API wrapper that only does one thing, I could create a comprehensive toolkit where each tool handles a specific aspect of D365 interaction. Think of it as giving AI assistants the same Swiss Army knife that a D365 expert would carry.
34 tools still sounds overwhelming. Are we talking about the kind of complexity that makes developers want to hide under their desks?
Not at all. They're organized into 7 logical categories, like having different toolboxes for different jobs. You've got your connection and environment tools for getting connected, CRUD operations tools for basic data work, metadata discovery tools for exploration. Each category solves a specific type of problem that comes up in real D365 work.
Okay, so walk me through this Contoso discovery. How did your AI-focused tools go from show me customers to holy cow, this would be a major problem in real life?
Perfect example. I started testing with a natural request to the AI assistant. Find the top 10 customers with the highest credit limits in the Contoso environment. Now, with traditional tools, this would have been a multi day project involving custom queries, manual data exports, and probably some Excel gymnastics. But with the MCP tools, the AI could use query entities to directly access the customer data.
But I'm guessing it wasn't that simple, right? Because it never is, even in demo environments.
Exactly. The AI initially tried the customer's entity, which turned out to be the wrong entity name even in the demo data. But here's where the comprehensive toolkit shines. Instead of hitting a dead end, the AI could use search entities to discover that the correct entity was actually called customers V3. It's like having a GPS that can reroute when you take a wrong turn, whether you're in a demo or production environment.
So even getting the right starting point required detective work. This is sounding familiar, like that time I spent 2 hours trying to connect to the wrong database endpoint. But the difference here is that the AI could self-correct.
Exactly, and this is where designing for AI assistance really pays off. Once the AI found the right customer entity using the discovery tools, it could use getEntity schema to understand the available fields. Then, query entities with specific filtering to get customers with credit limits greater than 0, ordered by credit limit descending, limited to the top 10. All of this happened in a conversational flow with the user.
That sounds like a pretty standard data query. What made this special compared to traditional enterprise reporting?
The game changer is the AI's ability to chain these tools together intelligently. Within minutes, the AI had identified that Owl Wholesales had the highest credit limit at $1 million, followed by several Contoso retail locations at $500,000 each. But then the user asked the natural follow-up question, what are their current balances? And that's when the AI really showed its power.
Ah, and that's when things got interesting, I'm guessing.
Boom! The AI automatically switched to the customer aged balances for AI entity, figured out the right field mappings, and started pulling balance information from the Contoso data. And that's when US010, Sunset Wholesales, one of Microsoft's demo customers, jumped out like a red flag. Current balance $531,250. Credit limit $400,000. The AI immediately calculated that this demo customer was 132.81% over their limit. Now, this wasn't a real crisis, but it perfectly illustrated exactly the kind of scenario that would trigger emergency meetings in real companies.
That's brilliant, actually. So you're using Microsoft's realistic demo data to show how your tools would perform in actual business crises.
Exactly. And here's what's fascinating. The Contoso demo environment includes all the messy complexities of real D365 implementations, multiple customer entities, complex data relationships, authentication challenges, the works. When my MCP tools could navigate all of that complexity with an AI assistant in a demo environment, it proved they'd work just as well, if not better, in production systems where the stakes are real.
That's a great point. Let's talk about the broader vision here. You mentioned designing specifically for AI assistance. What makes this approach different from traditional enterprise integrations?
Traditional integrations are built for humans who know exactly what they want to do and how to do it. You build a specific interface for a specific use case. But AI assistants are more like really smart interns. They can understand complex business questions and figure out creative solutions. But they need the right tools to work with.
Give me a concrete example of this AI-first design philosophy.
Perfect. In our credit crisis scenario, a human developer would have needed to know about entity names, field mappings, OData syntax, and authentication protocols upfront. But the AI assistant could start with a natural language question like, show me customers with high credit limits, and then intelligently use the discovery tools to find the right entities, the schema tools to understand the data structure, and the query tools to get the results. It's self guided problem solving.
That does sound powerful. But what about security? Because if I'm a CFO, I'm worried about giving AI assistants this much access to enterprise data.
That's exactly why I built comprehensive security into the foundation. The profile management system supports everything from basic credentials to enterprise grade client credentials stored in Azure Key Vault. You can have separate profiles for development, testing, and production, each with appropriate security configurations. The AI assistant can switch between environments safely without ever exposing credentials.
What about keeping all this metadata in sync? Because if the AI is working with stale data, it could make some pretty confident but wrong recommendations.
Brilliant question. The synchronization tools handle this with multiple strategies: full sync for complete updates, entities underscore only for quick refreshes, or incremental for just the changes. The AI can actually monitor sync progress in real time and know when the data is fresh enough for reliable analysis. It's like having a data freshness indicator built right into the toolkit.
This is sounding less like a simple API client and more like an enterprise AI platform. Are we talking about replacing existing BI tools?
It's more complementary than replacement. Traditional BI tools are great for scheduled reports and dashboards with known questions. But when you need real time investigation, ad hoc analysis, or rapid response to unexpected business questions like our credit crisis, having an AI assistant with comprehensive enterprise access fills a critical gap. It's designed for the I need to understand this right now scenarios.
Let's get practical for a minute. If I'm a business user who wants to leverage this, do I need to become an AI prompt engineer?
Not at all. The beauty of designing for AI assistants is that they can translate natural business language into technical operations. A business user can literally ask which customers are over their credit limits, and the AI figures out which entities to query, how to join the data, and how to present the results. The technical complexity is hidden behind conversational interfaces.
So it's not necessarily about making every business user a developer, but about making AI assistants into enterprise data experts.
Exactly. And with 34 tools organized into logical categories, the AI doesn't need to learn one massive complicated system. It learns the connection tools when it needs to set up environments, the CRUD tools when it needs to access data, the discovery tools when it needs to explore, and so on. It's like having an expert consultant who never forgets anything and works 24/7.
So let me summarize what I'm hearing. Mo saw AI assistants struggling with enterprise data access and built a comprehensive solution that transforms how we interact with D365 finance and operations. We've got 34 specialized tools designed specifically for AI assistants, organized into 7 categories that enabled the discovery of a major credit risk in minutes instead of weeks.
Perfect summary. The key takeaway is that when you design enterprise tools specifically for AI assistants, instead of just adapting human focused interfaces, you fundamentally change what's possible. An AI can go from a simple business question to actionable insights faster than traditional approaches, while handling the technical complexity transparently. And for anyone who wants to see exactly how to implement these MCP tools with Claude Desktop, GitHub Copilot, or other AI assistants, the comprehensive documentation walks through all 34 tools with practical examples and configuration details.
I have to ask, have you heard back from Sunset Wholesales about their credit situation?
Well, since Sunset Wholesales is one of Microsoft's fictional Contoso demo companies, they're probably not losing any sleep over it. But the example perfectly demonstrates what would happen in a real scenario. After discovering that kind of credit exposure, a CFO would be firing off urgent emails to credit and collections with urgent, customer over credit limit, immediate action required. The beauty is that my MCP tools performed exactly the same way with demo data as they would in a real crisis. For the complete technical breakdown, AI assistant setup instructions, and all the tool examples, check out the blog post at thedataguy.pro. Don't forget to subscribe to the show, and we drop new episodes every Wednesday. Can't wait to hear about your own enterprise data discoveries.
Thanks for tuning in to the Data Guy Show. We'll catch you next Wednesday with more data adventures.